Hey guys, it's your boy MKS back again with another video. Obviously part 2 of my plans for Egypt and my dream vision and that sort of thing. Cleaner version for YouTube perhaps. Anyway, sorry. Tomorrow hopefully I'll get to make some videos about my plans for Central Africa. Which I talked about before about how I love Central Africa symbolically to be a hub for Pan-Africanism. And people who support Pan-Africanism and things like that. But anyway, at the moment I hope to focus on Egypt and what I hope they will do to bring together Asian and African nations to support each other's writings and works and projects and things like art and whatever. Anywho, so I'll try and get on with the list. Hope my phone doesn't go off or anything like that before while I'm recording. But anyway, so number 11, as I say, continuing from part 1, I talked about children's rights and protection, how to keep children safe online, how to keep how parents and families can learn about child safety. I talked about in part 10, and amongst other things, and all that sort of stuff. 11, I think it would be good to see what Asia and Africa can learn for the future, like in terms of things like neurodiversity and disability, and changing some of the changing. I call it sometimes stupid superstitions or something immature like that. But superstitions. So I'm not. Well, I say I'm against superstition, but in a way, I kind of have my own superstitions with the number 13 and things like that. But so I probably shouldn't mock other people's beliefs, but some of the old beliefs about witchcraft or magic or whatever it is, without being too critical, I hope to change some of those superstitions and beliefs and all that sort of thing. So like about disabled people, physically, mentally or learning disabled people. So I hope to change some of those views and give more disabled rights as well as children's rights and rights for animals, and improve like just general human rights and freedoms and things like that, to make better quality of life for as many people as possible across both Asia and Africa. Number 12, on that note, I hope to inspire, motivate, encourage people and all that, and encourage people to mentor and people of colour or other people who are successful in their chosen field, who want to see people from countries where they have a lot of disadvantages. I hope to encourage them to support, to mentor people in like things like Teach for Asia, Teach for Africa, Mentor for Asia, and see what and Africa as well. Whatever I do for Asia, I could do pretty much the same for Africa, and mentor and inspiring people from Asia and Africa, and people from Asian and African backgrounds, talk about what makes them proud to be Asian or African, or global Black diaspora and people of colour and things like that. Number 13, again going back to superstition sort of thing, I always include a negative. So yeah, I think like some of the negative things about Asia and Africa that could be changed, like some of the superstitions, or maybe some of the things I disagree with or dislike about Asia and Africa, like respect your elders, or you have to, or the younger people should respect their elders generally. Respect your elders, or when people say I'm older than you, or respect your elders, or things like that. I disagree with things like that. So there are some cultural things that I'm not too keen on. Moving on, number 14, again, hope through writing and art and poetry and things like that people from Asia and Africa will look at how they can solve problems. And again, as I say, 2 minds are better than 1. So I think it'd be great to see approximately 5 billion people working together on solving problems and making the world a better place, especially for Asia and Africa, but also for the world generally, and how they can also make money from that to lift people out of poverty as well, and support people from all different walks of life and backgrounds across Asia and Africa, especially indigenous people from those nations. Number 15, as I say, I often talk about aspirations and all that, but I hope to try and think of some different ideas, and also people from Africa and Asia also can talk about like 5-10-year plans and things like that, and how children can learn about 5 or 10-year plans in school and things like that, but also how so I lost my train of thought. they can have their own ideas. Sorry, that's what I was going to say. They can have their own ideas. So not just my ideas or this is what I want to happen, but they could also talk about what they think would make the continents, both Africa and Asia, do better, and how they think that both continents can work together towards shared goals rather than just my own ideas. So different people chiming in with their own ideas and have like an open exchange of ideas and that sort of thing. Number 16, again, hope to, for Asian and African nations to look at their strengths and weaknesses, opportunities and threats, like SWOT analysis, and also like analysing what would be worse, what keeps them back, and what they could change, what they could do to improve, to make their economies grow even faster and do even better. As I say, to me, working together, I think would make them do a lot better. And again, an open exchange of ideas about things they could be doing differently and things like that. 17, I hope to see to read. I don't really read many things, but maybe on YouTube or maybe other people can read, or maybe in the future I could read some things about stories from Asia and Africa, different stories, legends written on paper or in books or online books, and on Facebook and wherever else, on Twitter and even on YouTube, where they talk about the stories, either written or spoken stories about things like urban legends or all sorts of things from Asia and Africa, and how they can work together perhaps and collaborate generally on, again, unite together and collaborate on how to develop each other's stories. Like someone has an idea and then another person says, what have you thought about it from this angle? So could you change the story a little bit? Or could this be something you could add to the story? And they might say, well, I've never thought about that before. So it could give unique perspectives and things like that. But yeah, using their imagination, things like that. Talking about imagining situations and things like that. Imagine ifs and things like that. Number 18, again, I hope that they'll talk about the positives of working together, networking together, and people, like I say, like dyslexic or autistic. I love the idea of dyslexic or autistic or artists with ADHD or people writing and talking about their ideas and possibly expressing themselves through YouTube videos or other ways about what would be the benefits of working together, like how they could help each other with new ideas or thinking from different perspective, or feeling better about themselves or helping each other when they're struggling. So I think, I'm sure that if they work together, they'll do much better than if they are divided over land and land disputes and things like that, which can always be lost or taken away from them. And how Europe in the past divided Asia and Africa, Asian and African nations, to like divide and conquer. And I think the opposite is to unite, to make peace. I know I repeat a lot of these points, so I apologise, as I say, but I think that if you keep talking about those ideas, hopefully eventually they will come to fruition, so to speak. If someone has a kid and they only mention them once or twice, or has children and they only mention them once or twice, you'd wonder how much they love their children. But obviously, if they mention their children all the time, you'd think maybe they do go on a bit, but obviously it's really great that they love their children. I hope that makes sense. As with the rest of this video. Number 19, again, I hope they'll look at the challenges and problems, like people who have low self-esteem and how they can be encouraged to become writers, and the challenges that a young person or any person in Asia and Africa might face in becoming a published author, and how they can take on those challenges or use different ideas, like different forms of media. Like if you can't get your work published, you could talk about your ideas on YouTube, and then if you find enough people like it, or you share it on Twitter and enough people like it, then hopefully that will inspire publishers or inspire you to maybe make it self-publish if no one else will publish you. A lot of people self-publish, and so again, it's looking at different ideas from different perspectives. So not, if you see a stumbling block, it doesn't mean you stop. You can still find ways to get around things. And yeah, I'd love to promote my ideas, as I say, of Asia's and Africa's dyslexic authors, as in authors, play on words and all that, as I talked before about. And number 20, I hope older people will teach younger people and inspire them. Hope I did quite well on that one in this video, as I always do, and I'd love to know your thoughts as ever. I hope I didn't repeat myself too much. Hope I sort of at least made a twist on my ideas a little bit, and I'd love to know what your least and most favourite was. Peace and love.